This technique is to release the vastus lateralis, which is on the quadricep. The vastus lateralis is the muscle that's on the outside. Since we're going to be working on twisted pelvis, it's important to understand that although these muscles are not directly involved, they are very helpful in side-to-side movement and stabilization. And so often if they're very tight, and on many people they are very tight, it can result in things like knee pain, but it can also result if one side is tighter than the other. You see it in this pelvic rotation, and you often see it with things like IT band issues, outer knee pain, and even inner groin pain. So what we're going to need is a foam roller, and it's going to be really similar to the rectus femoris release. We're going to get in the same basic position, which is where I'm going to have most of my weight on these 3 points to control the amount of intensity. But what I want to do is I actually want to roll on the outside of the leg with the foot turned in and work my way up and down like so. This is not the same as rolling on the side of your leg like this. I mean, that is still the vastus lateralis, but most people do that to release their IT bands, and that's not what we're doing here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to actually orient myself this way, is we're going to get into this position, and we're going to just turn the foot in so that we're on the outer 45-degree aspect of the thigh. And we're going to work our way up and down looking for sore spots. Now if we want to do pin and pull, like I've got a really good hot spot right here. So what I'm going to do is just bend my knee like so. And that's all I've really got to do. I can also do cross fiber friction by kind of wiggling on it, or I can just do my basic scan pressure. So for me, I feel a really big hot spot right up here at the top, but I'm still going to roll the whole thing. I just might spend some extra time in the 90 seconds, occasionally pumping a foot there, or allowing for some cross fiber friction, or working specifically in that area. But that feels like a spot that I could spend extra time on outside of this, or most of this round, because that's where the hot spot is. Now if it's too hot for you to actually put direct pressure on, don't. Sneak up on it. Start working in an area that's tolerable, and as that area releases, then work your way up. Because like mine just released, it actually feels much, much better all of a sudden. But that's a good example of how you want to be inside a frame of tolerance, and if you just give it enough time and breathe through it, it will release. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. So now I'll show it from this angle. I'm again, position. I'm going to turn this foot inward and roll through that outer quad head, the vastus lateralis. It's called the vastus lateralis because it is vast and lateral. So I'm just going to work my way through that with this foot, again, turned inside. Now on this side, I don't have as many hot spots, but I've got one kind of there, so I'm going to work that as best I can. But you'll also notice I'm working hard to keep myself fairly square at the torso. My hips are turned, but I'm not turning my spine a ton. Because I don't want to put myself in awkward positions if I don't have to. I want to try to keep the pelvis and shoulders fairly neutral. So we have Coach Oliver here. He's going to help us out for a moment. Bye, buddy. And I'm just going to keep working through. For me, that upper area is where I feel it the most. For some people, it's going to be down by the knee. It just depends on the person, and sometimes even on the day. There can be certain lifts or activities that you do that cause soreness in one area and not another. So sometimes it's related to whatever your most recent activity was even. But I'm going to work through that area for 90 seconds inside my frame of tolerance.